What up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mode. Time for a Warboss Tay unboxing. I have this Savage Orc Big Boss right here. So I'm gonna unbox him and show you what comes in the pack, and we're also gonna build him up right here. So first, let me show you the sprue. It comes with one sprue here, and you get 6 pieces. The little skull that goes on the back of his leg, his head, his left leg leaping forward, his double-handed weapon, and his body and his base. You can see his base. It's got a little snake right there. Oh! Feral Strike, your snotling volleyball guy, throwing his fanatic ball at the snake. There you go, right there. It is good. Your idea is good. So as you can see, there is no options for anything but what GW wants you to build, and that's, you know, to some people that's okay. To me, the fact that I spent money on this just to show you what comes in it, if I had to buy it on my own, I'm probably going to use him as something, but you know, I don't go out and buy stuff just to make videos on them. I'm actually interested in painting him, but if I was just regular guy, Joe Schmo, doing my, you know, thinking about doing an Orcs and Goblins army, there's no reason why I would need to go out and buy this. There really is not, because you can just buy a box of Savage Orcs, convert the one of the bodies, give him like a whole bunch of extra bits and choppy things, and right there you have a Big Boss. If you want to give him a two-handed weapon, there's no reason why you have to model him to have one, because everybody already is equipped with a hand weapon just out the gate, you know? So you could have him with one hand weapon and then just strap an extra hand weapon to his back, and there you go, Savage Orc Big Boss with a double-handed weapon. Most people though don't use Savage Orc Big Bosses with double hand weapons because you want to get your attacks in, and I've always seen, to take advantage of the frenzy rule, I've always seen Savage Orcs characters built with 2-hand weapons, just like their units. But it might be an effective way to approach taking out a monster or something with high toughness. So you could make him like take challenges and stuff. That's an option. It's just not particularly my play style. If you clean models, it's always better to shave away from you rather than to you, like I'm doing. So something like that. And I usually just do that now to clean flash, because with mold lines I learned this awesome trick, and I don't remember from who. It was like a long time ago. Somebody wrote a comment on my video. I gotta start like keeping notes of who teaches me what on YouTube, because Joey Berry gave me like a super awesome shout out on her latest vid, painting do's and don'ts, because she's kind of using my wet palette tip, my ghetto wet palette tip. But you know, it was so awesome of her to thank me, and there are things that I'm learning from you guys, like the Tamiya Clear Red as a blood color, awesome, or using the back of your hobby knife blade rather than the sharp side to just rub against the mold line, and that like almost instantly removes it. Like stuff like this is priceless information, because you use it and you put it in your repertoire of tools and techniques, you know, and they stay with you. Okay, so the base. The thing about the base is that I have to clear my throat. Excuse me. Alright, I just had to cough like an old man, so I stopped the camera. The thing about the base is that most of these decorative bases now have toes built in, like if you see the Lizardman one, for the lizard Old Blood Saurus. So you really know where the feet are supposed to go. They line up pretty much straight on. So I'm gonna get my Model Master liquid cement for plastic models. And for those of you who are not experienced with modeling, plastic cement or liquid cement for plastic models is always much better than super glue. Super glue will tend to dry and get kind of brittle. It's not meant to hold plastic together, so I know a lot of people who've used super glue on their models, and then their models end up getting brittle over time. So when we play, the arms kind of snap off a lot easier, even though they glue almost immediately. They stick really well together, and over time, if you use glue that's specifically meant for plastic models, it's going to be a lot better in the long run. It doesn't have to be Model Master like the type that I use. That just happens to be the one that works best for me. Okay, let's look at the back for instructions. So, step 1, which is what we did, we put the model onto the base. So now we're going to look at number 2, the arms. So the arms go next. I learned my lesson with Lewis, gluing Lewis the Necromancer together. Kind of glued him together in the wrong order, so his bat-winged head crest thing came out all out of alignment, and I had to kind of force it into place. So don't do that. Always follow the instructions. That's another thing I gotta do. I gotta make a video, like an intro video, kind of like how Blue Table Painting has their video on their front page, kind of explaining what they do. I need to come up with an intro video for my videos that explains all the different crazy characters in my sitcom. Okay, what? Alright, so that goes that way, that goes that way. Thing about mold lines, they're kind of hard to see when you're looking at the model straight on. I don't catch the majority of my mold lines until I primered my models, started painting, and then it's like, oh, how is it that I missed that? It's a mold line right down the center of his head. But I can be forgiven. One day, model makers will develop the technology to get rid of mold lines. And it will be fine cast. The day Finecast comes out with a model that has no mold lines or air bubbles, when that day comes, I am going to give up wargaming altogether. And everybody's gonna be like, but what? Why are you giving up wargaming? All you do is complain about Finecast. And I'm gonna say, yes, that is true. But these kids nowadays with their actual finely casted Finecast. Back in my day, you had to do this. Whoever came up with that name, Finecast, I mean, this has probably been you know, done to death and discussed to death, but that is just like a poor, comically poor choice of words, if you ask me. Wow, this is such a dynamic pose. I thought like the leg was kind of like pointed back at an angle, but he is, look at that, man. He wants to get into the fight. He is sprinting forward, full tilt. Okay, let's go next, the head. The cool thing about the body too, if you'll notice, the head does not come with the top knot. The top knot is actually included. So if you want your Savage Orc to not have hair, you're gonna have to cut this top knot off at the shoulder, shave down the shoulder, and then cut down the little knot at the top of the actual head where all the hair is bunched together. Alright, let's see if we can dry fit. Alright. Most people will tell you it's always best to do a dry fit first, which means don't just slap glue on the piece and then try figuring out where it sticks. Like actually figure out how it sticks onto the model first, and then slap glue everywhere. So when putting on this head, you're going at an angle rather than straight on. Just as a tip for all of you out there. Like that. So the head is not straight on, it's kind of at a funky angle. See, the back of the instructions doesn't really tell you the angles in which you're supposed to build this model. Kind of just shows you numbers and then little dotted lines of what goes where. So you're left really to figure out a lot of this on your own, which for a new hobbyist can be kind of distressing. Finally, the little skull thing on the back says that it glues to the waist. So, I mean, look, it's number 6 over here in the instructions, and you can't even really tell where it's supposed to go. Looks like it's supposed to be on the outside of the left leg, so that's what we'll do. And you know, whatever. It doesn't look like it's attaching to anything. This really looks like something that is just like an extra bit. Another great thing about Model Masters is you get this fine tip applicator. There you go. So, players out there, especially Orc and Goblin players, I'm looking at you, T27 and Feral Strike. If you have Savage Orcs, even if you don't have Savage Orcs, if you just want a crazy, bonkers, like that poop insane looking model running across the field, you could do a lot worse than this Savage Orc Big Boss. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing and assembly. Stay tuned for more. I've got the Little Night Goblin Shaman coming up, and some Empire stuff as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, yeah, can't forget the Black Knights. I've got so much boxes that need to be unboxed. But with Night Lords bogging up my June, it's just, we'll see how far I get. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you later. Wah!